Shuk Ma'alat Arav. One word on the Parashat, Parashat Bereshit בסימנה טבע. והאדם ידע את חווה אשתו, ותהר ותלד את קין, ותאמר קניתי איש את אדוני. פרק ד' פסוק א', the Torah comes and tells us about the first child that was ever born naturally. The Torah tells us the details. Adam yada et hava ishto. So Adam yada means he was with his wife. Batar, and she gave birth. Vateled et Kayin. Vatomer, and she said, Kaniti ish et Hashem. This pasuk over here has some difficulties. First of all, the pasuk could have said very simply, Vayeda Adam et Ishto, and Adam was with his wife. What does the pasuk refer to Adam as? Veha Adam. Veha Adam, Adam. His name is not Veha Adam, and there's only one Adam. It's not like we don't know who it is. There's only one man in the world at this time. Adam. Furthermore, we know that the wife of Adam was Hava. The pasuk said right before that, Vayikra Adam shem ishto Hava. So does the pasuk have to tell me, Yada et Hava ishto, Yada et ishto? He only has one wife. So I'm questioning the Veha Adam and I'm questioning Hava. Vatar vateled et Kain. There's no extra words in the Torah. So the pasuk could have said Vatar vateled Kain. What is et Kain? The et must be coming to tell us something. Furthermore, and to me the most difficult part of the pasuk is what she said when she gave birth. Vatomer kaniti ish et Adonai. Kaniti means to acquire. Ish is a person. A person, a man, has acquired God. Can you acquire God? God is not an acquisition. God is not for sale. So what does it mean? Kaniti ish et Hashem. Bereshit Kal Kadosh uBereshit Arav. There was a rabbi called Rabbi Moshe al-Sheikh, alav shalom. He lived about 500 years ago in Sfat. He was a student of Rabbi Yosef Karo, alav shalom. And he himself had great Talmidim, including Rav Chaim Vital. And his custom was, on Leil Shabbat and on Shabbat, he would be the darshan of Sfat. And all the tzaddikim would come and hear his derashot. Even Rabbeinu Ari would come to hear the derashot of Rabbi Moshe al-Sheikh. Later on, he would write these Devrei Torah in a sefer. He would write in the introduction to his sefer that although when I gave the derashot in public they were much longer, but in my book I just gave the tamsit. I gave the Ikarei HaDevarim, and the reason why I wrote them in the book, he says, was many people were stealing my derashot, and they were saying them over in their own names. So therefore, to preserve the asset, I had to put it down so that it should be known that these are my hadushim. So at least it should be said b'shem umro. That al-Sheikh must have been a mikubal, without a doubt, because he lived in Sfat in the golden period of the mikubalim. Although in his perush he sticks to musar and derash, and very rarely goes into the Kabbalah. His style is like the style of the Sfaradim, like the Abarbanel, where he quotes a pasuk and then he asks 4 or 5 questions, and then boom, he gives an answer, and the questions disappear. These are the questions of the Al-Sheikh on this pasuk. Number 1, why does it say Veha Adam? Why does it have to mention Hava by name? What is the extra et kain coming to include? And what does it mean Bichlal Kaniti ish et Hashem? The Rav brings us to a Gemara in Sotah, a Gemara that's well known. Gemara says, Ish v'isha shezachu shechina b'nehem. When we talk about marriage, Ish v'isha, when the marriage is correct, so the shechina rests in their midst. Ish v'isha shezachu leshalom bayit, shezachu b'mitot tovot, shezachu b'yirat shamayim. So if their marriage is on good foundation, the Shekhinah partakes. And the Gemara explains that the Shekhinah is actually Yud-Ke Vav-Ke. That's the name of the Shekhinah, Yud-Ke Vav-Ke. And in the word Ish, the middle letter is a Yud. In the word Isha, the last letter is a He. So Ish ve'Isha shezachu, those two letters, Yud-Ke, are strong, besides the Vav-Ke. However, Adam and Hava originally were called Ish ve'Isha. Ki mi'ish luku hazot, vayikra et shem ha'isha Hava. So they were called Ish ve'Isha, and therefore the Shekhinah was with them until they ate from the tree. Once they ate from the tree, the Yud of Adam left, and he became Ish, and the hair from Hava of Isha left, and she became Ish. Now already there was Kilalot, now there was trouble. The Shekhinah left their marriage. Says Rabbi Moshe al-Sheikh, but they still had the last two letters of the Shem Yud-Ke Vav-Ke. They still had the Vav-Ke, although the main letters is the Yud-Ke. But they had the Vav-Ke. And that's why he called his wife Hava. The Vav-He of Hava represents the two letters that they still had from the Shem Havaya. Now, he doesn't say this, but I'm saying this. The Pasuk tells us why he called his wife Hava. Shehi hayta em kol hay. She was the mother of all living. Well, if that's the case, she should be named Haya. Why did they name her Hava? Because what the Sheikh is telling us, he wanted to be miramez, that even after the sin, they still had two letters of the four letters, the Vav and the He. Now he doesn't say this either, but it could be the Het of Hava represents the Het. And therefore her name is representing that after the Het, after the sin of eating from the tree, now they just had Vav He. And that's the Rashi Tevot Hava. Het, Vav He. As a result of the Het, that's all she has now, is Vav He. The question is, was it possible for Adam HaRishon to bring back the Shekhinah into his marriage? So the Al-Sheikh will say, yes, that although when he had the relation with his wife, there was only Vav He, after she gave birth, the Yud-Ke Vav-Ke came back. And he reads the Pasuk like this, Veha Adam. At this point, it's Veha Adam. Vav He, Adam. Because Adam had Vav He. Therefore, the prefix Vav He represents the two letters of Hashem's name. Yada. Who did he know? Et Hava Ishto. The Pasuk is coming to tell us that she also had Vav He. After all, her name was Hava. So the Pasuk is telling us, Veha Adam and Hava. They were not Ish ve'Isha anymore. They were Veha Adam and Hava. The Yud-Ke already was lost. Vatar. Vateled et Kayin. We all know, based on the Gemara, that when Cain was born, he was born with a twin sister. He had no choice. Who is he going to marry? There was no other ladies. So in those days, it was very easy. You were born with your wife. You didn't have to think, who are you going to marry? You didn't need a shadchan. It was automatic. You have your wife instantaneously born at the same time. And therefore the Gemara says, Et Kayin, the Et comes to include the sister that was born with Kayin. Like we say, Et Lerabot. All of a sudden what happened? Now you have a new Ish ve'Isha. You have a new Ish ve'Isha, Kayin and his sister. At this point over here, Kayin didn't make any sins yet. They're just born. The girl didn't make any sins yet. And therefore at this point, the Shekhinah now is complete. The Vav He of Adam and Hava and the Yud-Ke of Kayin and his sister, Ish ve'Isha. Vatomer. So what does Hava say when Kayin and his twin sister are born? Kaniti Ish et Adonai. between the ish and between the et. The ish is Kayin. Who's the et? The te'umah, the sister. Between the ish and the et, I've acquired something. What have I acquired? Yud Kevavke. Now the Yud Kevavke is complete. Now already the Shekhinah is back in our marriage. So although we lost it from our own actions, we gained it back from our children. And that is a great, great lesson that the Al-Sheikh is telling us. That even though a couple, it's possible for them to have a break in the presence of the Shekhinah, but as they start having the children are able to regenerate the marriage. The children bring life into the marriage, and the Shekhinah that left on account of the parents can return as a result of the children. And this is a pasuk that's hinting to us that Adam, at the point that he was with his wife, was Veha Adam. He was a Vaveh, and she was Haba. She committed the sin, and therefore she only had Vaveh. But then Et Kayin came into the world. 2 children. And she understood that as a result of Et Kayin, Kaniti Ish. Ish is Kayin. Et is Ishto, his sister that was born with him. As a result, we're not Vavhe anymore. Now Kaniti Ish Et Havaya. Shabbat Shalom.